74% Chinese, 13% Malay, 9% Indian, Singapore's diverse population brings with it a large array of flavors. Add in influences from neighboring countries like Thailand, Vietnam, and Indonesia, and you have a cuisine unlike any other in the world.
It could take weeks to fully explore all the food here, so with only one day we had to be very selective. And after a lot of research, we know exactly what we want to try.
First up is lunch, and we went to a classic Singaporean hawker market. Hawker markets are open-air buildings that are very common in Singapore and contain many stalls that sell different types of affordable meals. Each stall normally has their own dishes that they perfected over generations. The meal I'm going to try today is chicken and rice. There are many different versions of chicken and rice, but today we will be having the Hainanese version, which is poached chicken, rice cooked in chicken stock, and a chili dipping sauce. It is considered by many to be one of Singapore's national dishes. The chicken is put in boiled water or blanched till it is fully cooked, and then soaked in cool water to make sure the meat stays tender. The chicken can also be roasted in soy sauce for a different taste. The rice is cooked in chicken stock with ginger and pandan leaves, and must have the right amount of oiliness, while the chili should have the right blend of both spiciness and sourness.
Wow. That sauce was real spicy. I was not prepared. So Anthony Bourdain actually came to this exact spot to get chicken rice and kind of put it on the map. And he said that this specific chicken rice is so fragrant and delicious that it could be eaten on its own. And I can definitely see that with the complex flavors that are in the chicken. With it being so simple, there's so much flavor to it.
Now it's tea time, and luckily we're in Singapore where we can try Teh Tarik, or pulled tea, which is a hot milk mix of black tea and condensed milk. The name comes from the pulling done to prepare the drink, dragging a long stream of tea upward. Cheers, let's try it. It's amazing. That is so sweet, but you can still note that it is tea. That might be the best tea I've ever had in my life. It honestly tastes a little smoky, like they've smoked something in there, but it's also really creamy. It's kind of refreshing. Really reminds me of hot chocolate, as most hot milky drinks do.
I don't even like tea, but this is so good. It doesn't taste really like tea at all.
And next up is something we absolutely had to try after we learned about it. It is the Singaporean Ice Cream Sandwich, which is not like your average one back home. It is literally a brick of ice cream wrapped up in a slice of bread. You can wrap it up with a slice of white bread or rainbow-colored bread that is lightly sweetened with pandan leaves. It's super weird for us Americans because this is not what we call an ice cream sandwich. And we actually got the durian flavor, which is kind of a controversial fruit here in Singapore because it has such a potent flavor. It's actually been banned from the metro and a lot of public places, but a lot of people like it. It has kind of an almondy flavor. We've heard we want to try the fruit, but we haven't found a store yet, so we figured might as well try the ice cream. Okay, I'm gonna try it. It's kind of weird. I can see the difference between the smell and the taste. It tastes really sweet, but the smell is kind of like, some people say it smells like bad socks or like trash, which it doesn't smell very good, but then the taste is pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm glad we honestly took the time to try it. Kaya is a sweet jam made by mixing beaten eggs with fresh pandan leaves, then adding palm sugar, coconut cream, and a little sea salt. It has a creamy, almost custardy consistency, and the color comes from the pandan plant, which is commonly used in cuisine throughout Southeast Asia. It's typically served on white bread, whereas here at the Chin Mi Chin confectionery, it's on fluffy buns, and you eat it by dipping the bread in a mix of the soft-boiled eggs and soy sauce. Oh, I'm gonna try it. It's amazing. That is so good. The jam is so sweet, and the mixture of egg and soy sauce just kind of like dulls it down a little bit, so it's not super sweet. It's a perfect mixture. Wow. This entire meal is often accompanied by Kopi, or coffee, that is strained through a sock and often sweetened with sugar or condensed milk.
It's hot. It's honestly really good. It's just like coffee with sweet milk inside. It's really strong. It kind of reminds me of an espresso, but a little bit less strong. And then it's just really sugary, kind of like hot chocolate. Really, really good, honestly.
What was initial excitement to try a sweet but crispy Asian take on an American dessert quickly transformed to confusion once we learned what it was we were trying. Singaporean fried carrot cake is a savory dish made of turnips cut into cubes and stir-fried with eggs and seasonings. There are two kinds that you can get, white or black, and the black version is mixed with a dark, sweet soy sauce. And the name comes from the color. There aren't actually any carrots in it.
It's very, very savory. It's very salty, a little spicy. And there's a lot of eggs in there, which I absolutely love. And I'm really stoked that we had the opportunity to actually try it. I wasn't sure if we were gonna get to this plate, but it is really popular in Singapore, and I'm glad we did.
The final dish I'm going to try today is a very unusual dish here in Singapore, the sambal stingray. This dish is prepared by barbecuing the stingray and then putting a sambal paste on top. The one thing you have to consider when cooking a stingray is to remove the barbed tail, because it is highly venomous. But after removing the tail, it is very safe to eat.
This is the most unique meal that I have ever eaten in my life. I really hope they took off all of the barbed tail. Here we go. Very, very similar to fish. It's really tender, it pulls apart, and it kind of has those teeny tiny little bones that fish kind of have as well.
After trying all these dishes, we must say this is the best food we've had on our travels yet.
Singapore, you have done it.
Yep, with the sweets, the drinks, and the savory meals, it just takes the cake.
Takes the fried carrot cake.
All right, guys, make sure to subscribe and see you next time.
Peace out.